And hello everybody, my name is Strike Alpha, and today I'm going to be casting my friend MySkillsFail as he plays on the blue team with Warwick, Echo, Lucian, and Zyra as a Riven. They're going to be playing against the red team, which is going to be running Yorick, Graves, Victor, Jhin, and Nami. So, starting off, let's go ahead and talk about these lane matchups. I'm going to try something a little bit different this time. So, starting with the top lane matchup, we have Riven and Yorick. Honestly, I think Yorick should have that advantage early on, just because he has his ghouls, and that's going to be that's going to give him the chance to kind of give free damage to the Riven starting off, or at least unreturnable damage. That's going to be really useful for him to try and, build up a lead moving forward. Once he gets to level 6, however, I honestly still do think that the Yorick should have that advantage, but if Riven gets 1 or 2 kills early on, it could be a toss-up between the two of them. Next matchup, well, it looks like we have an invade actually going on here. They are going to get spotted out by this Echo, however, and they are not going to be able to get a kill from this. So anyway, next matchup, we have Warwick and Graves. Warwick is going to be pretty good for his team once he hits probably level 3. At least he's going to be pretty useful in terms of helping get some ganks off that should lead to early kills. Graves might have the possibility of doing that as well, but it won't be as absolute, I think, as Warwick in this situation. So we'll just have to see who's going to be able to leverage themselves a little bit better, because if Graves plays his cards right, there's no reason why he shouldn't be in a much more better situation than the Warwick once they hit level 6 or the mid game. Once they hit the mid game. Next matchup, we have Echo and Victor. I think these two, it's pretty much going to be a chess match. Whoever happens to get the advantage early on is pretty much going to be set to go. Victor kind of starting off with a semi-decent advantage just because he starts off with his prototype hex core. Doesn't really do all that much, but that's not to say that everyone shouldn't necessarily be worried about him getting that item fully maxed out, and especially considering he is going to be running quite a bit of sustain. And we got a gank here. I'm going to say Echo's going to flash out, run towards River. Victor taking quite a bit of damage. Actually, Echo could turn this around if he plays his cards right, and he unfortunately doesn't. That's going to be the end of him. Meanwhile, whoa, this Warwick, it's a good bite and flash with him, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to win this fight with this Graves, or will he? He has lifesteal. He should be at the point where he, oh, wow. And his Q came back up, and that was a kill for Warwick. That's definitely not a good start for the red team. They got that first blood, but nothing says things might get out of control like a Warwick getting a early double kill. This, it looks like he was even before 3 minutes into this game. So we'll have to see how this Warwick is going to progress through the rest of this game right now. Meanwhile, we got Riven doing quite a bit of damage to the short. But that is going to be the end of that trade. But yeah, it's pretty much going to be a chess match between the Echo and the Victor. Echo has a lot of mobility. Victor has a lot of burst damage. If either of them land their particular skills on the other, it's not going to be a pretty situation for for the opponent. Meanwhile, we got Riven going in on this Yorick, and he's running pretty low. He might want to consider going back. But anyway, finally, let's talk about this bot lane matchup. We got Lucian and Zyra, and we got a flash from this Riven and a flash from the Yorick. Yorick's definitely not in a good spot. He really should consider going back, but it looks like he might be getting ready to get some help from this Graves. I'm going to say, I don't know if she's going to be able to get out. Oh, they go for the Yorick, gets the kill, and now she's stuck in that little baby cage Yeah, I guess you could call that a baby cage. It's not the same as the Vigar baby cage, but still a baby cage nonetheless. Yeah, so let's go back to this bot lane matchup. Like I said, Lucian and Zyra versus Jhin and Nami. Personally, I like the Jhin Nami combo just because I'm a person who kind of likes having a sustained support with you. Nami's bubble works pretty well with Jin's root, as well as kind of gives him a chance to do quite a bit of extra damage on this Lucian or Zyra if he's able to kind of get there. It also helps that any spell she casts on Jhin gives him move speed, and by right that gives him AD. So that is pretty useful, I think. That said, the kill potential of the Lucian Zyra bot lane is still really strong. It's definitely not something to sneeze at. All it takes is one well-placed root by this Zyra with some plants and a pretty high mana Lucian to get this kill. Looks like Nami's going to get unfortunately left behind, and that's going to be the end of Nami. But yeah, I predict that if Lucian's able to continue this trend right now, because right now he's winning in CS and in kills, I don't doubt that Lucian's gonna pretty much be a win condition for the blue team. But we'll just have to see whether or not Jhin is going to be able to hold him off to the extent that needs to be done. So, now that we've talked a little bit about these matchups, let's go ahead and talk about the overall team comps, because that's going to be kind of important in the next few minutes. At least, yeah, no, it's going to be pretty important. That said, I kind of like the blue team just because they are fairly consistent in terms of what they're trying to do. They're going for picks. They're trying to set up people for situations where they aren't going to be able to make it out. And they have quite a bit of pursuit capability thanks to a lot of their abilities. So the only one who doesn't completely match that aspect is going to be Zyra, but in the end, you kind of want to get the jump on who you're trying to gank or who you're trying to pick. So there's nothing really necessarily wrong with that pick, in my opinion. That said, the red team is a little more standard. If this Yorick can go ahead and get a little tanky, as well as this Graves, there's going to be a lot of damage coming down from 3 essential carries for their team. So they should, by right, be able to kind of repel the blue team in a pretty effective manner, I think. And here we go. We got a fight going in on bot. Nami taking quite a bit of damage, and now Nami comes through with the tidal wave. Lucian's running for his life right now, and he's gonna make it out. Meanwhile, Zyra is saying that she has her ult ready. I'm not sure if Lucian is planning on going in. He now has the culling, so he can go ahead and make something out of this. And here we go. We got the culling going down. Jhin taking all of the bullets to the face, but it's not going to be enough to take him down. So, like I said, as for the red team, they're going to have a lot of damage coming out. The only one who can kind of start to absorb that, however, is going to be Yorick. They don't have the mobility to split push, but they're going to be looking for their team fights, because if they don't get their team fights, they shouldn't expect to honestly win. Oh, and we got Yorick coming in, doing damage to this Victor, and the Echo gets the kill, but he's going to get taken down immediately by this Graves. Meanwhile, Warwick is kind of playing around a little bit, playing it off. Graves is going to be able to make it out of their little bit of a duel. So But he is going to lose his camps, or Graves is going to lose his camps pretty quickly here as Warwick goes ahead and takes that red buff from this Graves. I honestly think that Warwick might be heading over to, oh, nope, he's not going over to the York, but he looks like he is kind of trying to stalk the area to figure out where his next move is going to be. Looks like it might be this Rift Herald. Meanwhile, Graves looks like he's starting to take a trip into the blue team jungle as well. Oh, although now it makes more sense. He's going after this Echo. Echo is going to be able to make it out of that gank without burning any summoner spells. So that works out for him. And meanwhile, we still got a lot of stuff going on up top. Work is working on that Rift Herald. He's still going. Graves might not necessarily see him get it. Doesn't look like it. Meanwhile, Riven is going to try and hold off this Graves, but I don't know. Well, I think she should be able to win that. Yep, she is, and the Wind Slash comes through, and that's a dead Graves. Meanwhile, it looks like, who got the Rift Herald? No, someone got it, but it didn't necessarily say it. Looks like Riven is going to go ahead and take that buff. Definitely not a good thing for this York, because that Rift Herald pretty much is going to run over anything that he decides to put out. And considering that top tower is at max health, it's definitely not looking like he's going to be able to beat Riven up there in terms of getting that first mortar goal. Yeah, I'll call it first mortar. Instead of first calling it first blood. Oh, and we got Lucian running for his life. That's going to be an Lucian. Meanwhile, now we got a support fight. Nami versus this Zyra. Zyra throwing down a lot of plants here, but Nami's taking quite a bit of damage, and it looks like these two are going to be heading out. But Warwick is here. He goes ahead with the infinite duress, and gets that kill. Meanwhile, Rift Herald's going to essentially take that top lane down to pretty nice and low margin. Red team's going to be able to stop the Rift Herald before that first mortar goes to the blue team. However, meanwhile, we got Warwick coming in with the flash, and that's going to be a quick and easy kill for that Echo. Let me say, like I said, Warwick is definitely showing that anywhere he goes at this point is going to be a pretty terrifying situation for them. Meanwhile, we got Riven doing her best to run from the York. And she is going to take down that York ult. I'm going to say needed to happen, otherwise she might not have a top turret. I don't know why she's necessarily starting this fight. This is not a fight she wanted to be in, and the exhaust goes down, but it's just not enough. York's going to go ahead and take that kill. So far, it looks like it's a fairly even matchup up top, but jungle is definitely moving in the favor of the blue team. Just taking a quick look at the money spread right now. We say a lot of blue team's money seems to be concentrated on this Warwick, while you can almost say the same thing for this Graves. Oh, although it looks like this will be the end of Warwick. He's getting jumped on by 3 people. Enough CC has gone down. There was no hope of him life-stealing his way back from that situation. And it looks like blue team is going to go ahead and get that first mortar goal. Meanwhile, Warwick's going to go ahead and throw down the stasis field in defense of this Echo parallel convergence. Meanwhile, it looks like this should be the end of Victor, and we got that coming through. I need to make sure I know the name of that ult. But before I get back to that, we got a lot going on now. We got Riven going ahead, getting that next tower up in top. And it looks like Graves tries to come down here to bot lane. Zyra's going to be running for her life, and now we got the culling coming through. But that 4th shot comes in from Jhin, and that's going to be the end of Zyra. Okay, meanwhile, up top, you got a fight between this Riven and York. Riven taking a little bit of damage here. But I imagine that she's probably going to back out now, although it doesn't look like that too much. She's kind of been playing around with this Yorick in a way that only a very, very confident Riven main would be able to do. I'm going to say she's going after Yorick. She almost lands that stun. Meanwhile, in this bot, we got Warwick going after this dragon. It's a good job, Warwick, for managing that objective control. And it looks like the entire top half of the red team is making their way up to Riven. Riven's going to take that as a cue to get out of there. She's going to recall with quite a bit of gold, and now she is going to be running a black cleaver, and it looks like she could potentially either be going I don't know, she could be going for a lot of different things at this point. Oh, and the Zyra misses the roots. Oh well. But yeah, she's going for a few things. She's definitely looking at the cooldown reduction as an important factor for what she does next, as well as the life steal. There's a pretty decent chance she might be going for a Hydra, but we'll see if that is going to be what her plan is moving forward. Okay, now it looks like the blue team is going to be setting up a siege in this mid lane on this red team. Red team needs to try and figure out a way to break this. Otherwise, I can only imagine things not necessarily working out all that great for them. Echo goes in, causes a lot of flashes, a lot of actions to happen. Meanwhile, we got Warwick jumping in, getting a kill on this Victor. I'm going to say, meanwhile, Echo is going after Graves. Everyone's kind of getting taken down one piece at a time. That is going to be it for that fight, though. It looks like it's going to be a 3-2 situation in favor of the red team. However, it does still give me, I still do have the vibe that in the end, the red team is going to lose that tower, but I don't know, maybe the red team might get something out of this before that happens. Oh, and Riven jumps the wall, and that's going to be the end of Nami. So the question is, can Echo get Riven out of this situation? And it does look like he is able to. And meanwhile, we got Jin taking a lot of damage here. Oh, and that is a very close call for this Riven. Saved only for the dash. A good job on getting in and out on that part. Alright, so it looks like Warwick, with his extra money, is gonna go ahead and get a Hydra, as well as kind of building a little tanky on the AD side. Definitely recognizing that Jin and Graves are a pretty decent threat here. Not really sure how long he's going to necessarily feel like that, considering that Victor is going to get to that point at some, or get to the point of being a pretty strong threat at some point. Meanwhile, we got Riven taking a lot of damage from these ghouls and from these minions on this red team. I'm not really sure if this is a great move for her. She goes ahead, dashes out, and she might be able to make it out. Although, and we got the shovel coming down, but it's not going to be enough. And oh, man, I don't even know how to describe that, but it does look like Riven is going to die anyway, but really good call on her part. Definitely seemed like an impossible situation. Meanwhile, Warwick is going in on this Graves. He is going to be able to get that kill. Meanwhile, Echo comes back and helps get the kill on Jin and finishes it out with the double kill. This blue team is going to go ahead and take this outer mid tower. And with the way things are going right now, they have quite a bit of damage on the carries, or the AD carries in this situation. They could potentially take more real estate from this red team. The question is, will they be able to actually finish them off? Instead, it looks like they're going to get finished off. Echo going down to this Victor, thanks to the stasis field and some help from the 6-man tower. Alright, so at this point, it looks like Baron is going to be 40 seconds from coming up, as well as this dragon. This next dragon is going to be an Earth Dragon, so we got that to look forward to. In terms of who probably could use that objective a little bit more, I'd have to say that the red team probably could use that dragon a little bit more. In terms of their damage output, it is high, but at this point, because they don't have a super strong tank, they're going to need to fight a lot, or they're going to need to clear that type of objective a lot faster than what the red team or what the blue team might necessarily need to get that objective. And I think Zyra might be getting ready to die here. She takes a full combo from this Jhin, taking 4 straight shots, getting CC'd out. She goes down to the Jhin. Meanwhile, Riven is going to be unable to pull some of the same magic that she was able to perform before. Meanwhile, Warwick is trying to fight off this Graves and Jhin, but it's not going to be enough. Too much damage for him to deal with. Meanwhile, it looks like the blue team might not necessarily be 100% focused on what's going on, as things are starting to kind of get a little bit out of control here for these guys. And that's going to be the end of Echo. Oh no, he goes ahead and calls down that ult. Not really sure if he's going to be able to make it out. He's doing a lot, but it's not going to be enough. Victor barely able to move out of the way to stop from getting hit from that return call on Echo's Q. You said red team should, like I said, make their way towards their dragon, but we'll see if they think or if they value that objective as much as I would in their situation. Meanwhile, we got Graves going after this Lucian. And we got the curtain call coming up. Not really sure where Jhin was aiming, but he kind of overshot that Lucian by quite a bit. It's a good attempt though, because in any situation, most people will try and run towards the base, not run away from the Jhin outright like that. So, not really sure if this red team... Oh, and we got Warwick coming through with the infinite duress. Looks like this should be the end of Nami though, but the stasis field comes down. We got the shotgun burst coming in through from the Graves, and that's going to be the end of Warwick, Lucian, and Zyra. Meanwhile, Riven finally getting in there, getting some kills. She gets the kill on Nami, and Echo also getting in there, getting Graves and Victor. Meanwhile, Victor is not done, or Echo was not done with Jhin. He's gonna go ahead and go back in there and get that kill. So now it's just a question of what the blue team wants to do in terms of objectives. Looks like there is a little bit of a consensus in terms of going after that next objective. Meanwhile, Riven, she's gonna try and stop York in this top lane, but I gotta seriously doubt that she is gonna be able to stop him at this point, just because it is not a one-on-one fight, it is a two-on-one fight, and Riven's taking quite a bit of damage as it is to begin with. But okay, I guess she is gonna be able to stop the York push-a-palooza, I guess. So yeah, just looking at the way things are right now, doing a quick game summary. We have the blue team with 43.2k gold, 42.3 for 43.5, and the red team running around 39.8, around 40k. And this might be the end of Nami. Let's say Zyra's gonna go ahead and get that kill, but she's gonna get immediately burst out by this Grave like nothing ever happened. Echo's gonna take on that Mountain Drake alongside Warwick, and they will get that objective. Blue team currently running 2 dragons, especially effective against objectives. So at some point they may want to consider moving towards that Baron, because that by right should be an easy objective for these guys at this point. And while Riven looks like she's not necessarily in a good spot right now, however, Warwick is on the way there. Oh man, so much damage is coming down on this Lucian, and this should be the end of him. Graves getting that kill. Can't do much in that kind of situation. Meanwhile, so as I was saying, blue team currently is running around 4 towers down, while red only currently has 2. And in terms of money and who is, oh, and we got another fight coming in. We got, wow, just so much going on. We got a pretty angry fight here going on. Victor is not going to make it out for the red team. However, he is going to be responsible for at least 1 kill that they are going to get in this situation. So that team fight ended up being 1 for 2 in favor of the blue team. Meanwhile, blue team is starting to realize that they might need to make a little more effort to try and stop that York. Lucian is going to be there to do his part to stop that push and force York all the way back. However, York is also pushing top lane thanks to his ult, so someone needs to go up there and address that situation. And with that, let's again look at who seems to be leading the blue team and red team in terms of kills and money. It looks like Echo is going to be leading his team in kills by at least 4. From it's going to be 4 more than Warwick in this situation. And he's also going to have around 2k more gold than oh, and we got the ult coming in, tidal wave coming in from Nami, and it looks like the infinite duress is not going to happen fast enough. Graves is going to get that kill on this ward. But yeah, and then for the red team, it looks like Graves is going to be leading the pack in terms of those killing blows. He has only just 1k, or he has 11k gold right now, a little bit more than what was there before. And now we got Echo going in on this Nami. Riven is attacking this back line, going in as much as she possibly can. That's going to be 2 kills for this Riven. I'm going to say getting both Victor and Graves. Jin and York are both running for their lives, and we got a ping for Baron for this blue team. They won that fight 0-3, and now they're going to get the objective as a reward for their efforts. And here we go. We got the Baron finally starting here. Jin and York are kind of going to hang around here, trying to see if they can't manage to disrupt the way things are, but he might have made a mistake. Both Echo and Riven are going to hop over walls to get in contact with them, and that is going to be the end of that Baron. Warwick's going to take that, and with that, I fully expect that the blue team should be able to probably push the win at this point. The team comp definitely can work with what their current buffs are. It's only a matter of whether or not the blue team can recognize that they need to do these things. So we will go ahead and watch this play out and see if any of the predictions I've made are going to end up true. Right now it doesn't look like that, as it looks like the Riven was able to kind of turn a difficult situation into something much more beneficial. Currently running 8-4-6 against this York, and currently running her 4th item. Wait, is that her 4th item? Yeah, she's currently working on her 5th. Meanwhile, Graves is going to get that kill on Lucian in another team fight in mid. We got no one going for this back line. Graves is going to be running for his life right now. Meanwhile, oh, what the max length wind slash coming from the Riven, getting that kill on this Nami. This doesn't look good for the red team. There's so much pursuit, so much turret dive potential going on here. And it looks like Echo is possibly not going to be able to make it out of this. He is not. He's going to get shotgunned by this Graves. While ult is going to go down for this mid inhib tower, just because it looked as if They just wanted to back off Graves and York from the minion wave. Nothing says I'm not going anywhere like that. Like putting down an AoE ult that knocks up champions. Meanwhile, while the red team is going to be trying to lick their wounds, trying to get things back in order, blue team is going to take another dragon. It is going to be a cloud dragon. It definitely will be super useful for this blue team, as Warwick does take advantage of the fact that move speed works in his favor in terms of distance travel for his ult. I had an idea, but it looks like it left just as fast as it got in my mind. So with that, we'll go ahead and talk a little bit again about these matchups so far. We are at the mid slash, it could be the late game depending on how some situations pan out. Riven definitely got the better end of the deal in top lane. Currently with 327 CS, running about 5 items on her own against York's 4. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's definitely almost a 5th item. So yeah, she's going to be almost set to kind of pass off some of these kills to her teammates, just because it makes too much sense in a situation like this. Some people have difficulty understanding why, but I'd like to say that you shouldn't forget that this is a team game. When your teammates do well, you do well. So with that, it looks, and the ult comes down from this Graves, getting that quick burst kill on the Zyra. Meanwhile, Lucian looks like he seems to be running for his life. That is not going to be a good move for this Warwick. He goes ahead, hits the infinite duress, and immediately gets taken down by this tidal wave coming in from this Nami. Meanwhile, looks like Echo really wants this inhibitor. He is going to be able to get it, and it's not much that the red team can do about it other than force him into a chrono shift. Is that it? Chrono break, that's it. Also, if I look at, it might be a little bit of a toss-up between junglers in terms of who actually was more, was able to turn out the best. Meanwhile, Riven pops the wall and she's going after Victor. She flashes in, she gets the Nami, and now it looks like Jin is running for his life. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it. The flash comes down. That's definitely going to save Yasuo, but it's not going to stop a woman on a mission. That Riven doesn't care. She just goes through, and now she's hopping over the red team's wall with the red team unable to stop her. And it looks like this top inhib tower is going to be the next one to fall for this red team. They don't have much time left in terms of trying to make a comeback, especially in this type of situation. Meanwhile, a lot of damage is still coming out. York goes ahead, drops his ult. Meanwhile, Riven is taking way too much damage right now. She is fighting as the turret's target, so she can't get out of that. Meanwhile, we got an infinite duress and a tidal wave coming down on this ward. He goes ahead, Nami lands that nice smooth bubble, and at the end of that whole exchange, it looks like Warwick is going to be down. So this is, and Echo goes back in, even though Jin is shooting at them. This looks like this might turn into a really bad situation. Echo getting a triple kill. Oh, can Lucian get that kill? Nope, it does not look like it. So now it looks like the blue team is going to go ahead and knock down these last turrets, and it's going to be off to the races for this red team to try and stop the minions and the champions from getting full-blown kills on that Nexus, and it looks like that won't be happening, as the blue team is going to go ahead and take the victory in this game. So With that being said, that was a pretty good game here. Definitely like what the Lucian was able to do towards the end, but he would not have gotten there had. Okay, he would not have gotten there had Echo not essentially set up most of that whole situation by essentially stopping this Victor from growing too much in the mid lane. Riven was essentially instrumental in closing out the game with her massive triple kill and essentially almost a quadra kill while they were in the red team base. But without her, things definitely would have been much more significantly difficult compared to, say, another champion being up top. With that, though, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. If you are interested in having me cast any of your league games, let me know. I'm always down to Shoutcast. And that said, be sure to check out the Facebook. It's going to be Horizon Line Gaming. We are going to have some announcements in terms of some events coming up in the near future, mainly involving a tournament I'm going to be going ahead and casting at called MKE LOL. That's going to be October 6th and 7th, I believe. I might want to make sure that date is correct, but it is definitely going to be around that period. So I hope to see you all for that. But until then, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Again, my name is Strike Alpha. I want to thank one more time MySkillsFail for allowing me to cast their game. And I can't wait to see you guys next time. See ya.